Okay, good morning. We're on. How are you? Hope everyone's doing well today. So today we're talking about the science of appetite and beating binge eating, beating overeating. Some things we can do about it if you happen to struggle with those kinds of things. So I'm Kelsie, Michaud, health and life coach. And if you come on, say hello. I'd love to say hello to you. And if you catch the replay, hashtag replay, so I know you're here and I can say hi to you too. And if you have any questions at all about the content that as I go through it, please just pop it in the comments and let me know so I can answer those questions for you. So starting my morning with some nice hot coffee, cold, dreary, wet, rainy day here today, and I got my Slim and Sassy in here, so good. Good morning, Lynn. How are you? Thanks for coming on with us. So we're going to talk about beating overeating today, okay? So the key is understanding the actual emotional cues that are tied to all of this, okay, that are causing the actual binge eating, all right? So when we think about our hunger, usually we're thinking about, okay, our bellies are growling, we're hearing that noise coming from our stomachs, giving us that signal, and it's asking to be fed pretty much. But what I want you to ask honestly, okay, what are you truly hungry for? All right, I want you to really think about that today. What is it most in life that you're hungry for right now? Is it maybe you would like to see more success in your life? Do you feel like you need more of a purpose? Do you feel like you need to be validated a little bit more? Maybe some acceptance. Maybe you'd like to be accepted a bit more. Maybe some freedom. Maybe you'd like to feel freedom somewhere more in your life. Whatever it is, think about what are your biggest desires. What are you not getting from your life or even your relationships or anything in your environment that could be making you actually turn to overeating. Is it true hunger? Or maybe is it a craving? Because there's difference there, all right? You want to start by paying attention to what your body is actually telling you. Are you hungry, or are you experiencing a craving or some kind of desire for something that's other than food? Okay, because that's what you really want to figure out here. We want to dive deep and really look at that today. So if you've ever been on a diet, which we all have been, right? Then you might have thought that it was really smart to try and ignore your hunger and just override it, okay? You just tried to push it away. Your cravings, you were just like, I'm gonna ignore you right now. Instead of ignoring those cravings or hating them for what they are or trying to distract them, I'm going to ask you to actually embrace them, embrace those cravings, respect them, and really just observe them. Carefully look at them and pull them apart. When you begin to do that, then you're not going to be a slave to those cravings anymore, okay? Because what's going to happen, you're going to try to tell yourself something, okay? You're going to try to figure it out. What in life do you really crave? All right, these are all things you want to think about. What are you really craving right now out of life? Especially if you took food out of the equation, okay? So in life, we all want to feel connected and accepted and just whole and fulfilled, by others and by ourselves. So your cravings, they're actually here to help guide you towards your just most best authentic self and your just most purpose-driven self, right? And there's a huge difference between the emotional cravings and then your real hunger. All right, have you ever thought about that, or have you ever noticed that before? Because an emotional craving, it's this really strong and just sudden desire to eat right now, okay? And that causes this sense of panic or urgency because it's right now, this instant, I need something. I need something to make me feel better. And if you actually take the time to sit for 10 to 15 minutes, it will pass. And that's because you're feeling it in your head, not your stomach, all right? And real hunger is going to come on gradually. It's going to come on over a period of time. And you're going to feel that in your stomach, not your head. So it doesn't feel as urgent. It's not like right now. It doesn't cause you to panic. You actually have time to figure out, what do I feel like? What would really satisfy me right now? But when something difficult happens in our lives, we go into this survival mode, don't we? Okay? And unfortunately, a lot of times we're not so great at understanding our real feelings. And most of us are taught from a very young age to put a very brave face on and just kind of push through, right? We most likely have had years of practice of using food as comfort, as a reward. So that's become our habit. It's just what we know, it's just what we do. But what about listening to how we really feel? How about that instead? Sounds like a crazy concept when you've been doing the opposite for so long, possibly. So when we are emotionally eating, essentially we're feeling something, and we're feeling something uncomfortable, okay? It's something that we don't want to feel, or we don't even want to understand it. We don't even want to bother to take the time with it. And then we're just so used to food, using food to try to numb those feelings. But as we all know, that numbing is only temporary for us. So when we're emotionally eating, like all we are really doing is just trying to drown those feelings out, all right? We're just trying to push them down, push them away. We don't want to feel them. Go away. I'm going to comfort you with some food, and end of story, right? We're using food as that way to just opt out of actually feeling those feelings. Make sense? Let me know if you have any questions. Pop it in the comments for me. So when we feel something like maybe you feel a little rejected, or you're feeling a little lonely, or just plain stressed, food becomes that thing that we turn to immediately, right? And food feels comforting, and it feels loving, and it just feels like love to us because it's so comforting to us. And I have to apologize for a quick moment. My husband's in the basement doing lots of drilling and stuff. So if you can hear that, we're going from a non-finished basement to a finished basement, which I'm very excited about. But you might hear some noise, and I'm sorry. We're in the same house. I can't get away from it. So anyway, continuing on, I want you to think about if like food. Yes, it's so comforting. That's why we turn to it, because it's so loving. It's like a great big hug when we're not feeling good. But what if you actually sat down with these feelings and asked yourself, like truly and honestly, what is going on? What's going on here? What if you actually stopped for a moment, just a moment, and just got curious? Get curious and ask yourself, okay, what am I really experiencing right now? Think about how normal it is to numb our feelings, right? To have maybe that cup of coffee in the morning, or a glass of wine at night, in the evening, right? To take the edge off the day. Yes, I have this cup of coffee because I find it so comforting, because you know what? It's a cold, dreary day, so just the warmth of it is comforting to me. And that's okay. But it's a matter of knowing that. I'm not having it because I feel like I need the caffeine, because actually it's decaf. I can't handle the caffeine. I get too shaky. So really, that's why you really want to think about, like, okay, what am I feeling? What do I need right now? Think about, in the evening when you feel like you need that glass of wine to take the edge off, think about how socially acceptable it is to use food as a way to comfort yourself when you're down. We all do that, right? Or maybe you use it to perk you up when you just need some more energy. So think about, like, what are you trying to get out of feeling? What are you not wanting to feel? Because you can't eat your feelings. We can try to, but it's still going to be there, right? So I have a really important, very simple tool that I have for you today, and you can use this every time you want to dive deep into your relationship with food and just heal those negative patterns of unwanted habits. So all you have to do is just simply stop, slow down your breath, and ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? That is literally it. How am I feeling right now? And then answer that to yourself with how you're actually feeling, how you're truly feeling. Okay? Define your feeling. Go deep, look at it. What is going on? And then, instead of using food, sit with that feeling. Sounds odd, doesn't it? We don't normally do that. And I know you've heard about mindful eating, probably, either from myself or somewhere else, which can feel like, maybe one of the hardest things to actually do when you're so used to turning to food to just numb every feeling that you experience. But mindful eating, it's also known as just paying attention. Okay? It doesn't have to be hard. It's really simple. Just stopping, breathing, paying attention and asking, what's up with this? How am I feeling? Just get curious and observe your feelings and become your own detective. Good morning, Christine. Thank you for coming on with us. I was actually going to tag you in this video, but now I don't have to. So think about, is there one lesson that you can take from this today? And if there's one lesson that I would want you to take from this today, is to let it to just be paying attention to those feelings, right? You might not need to put your hand on your heart and just close your eyes, but maybe you just need to slow down and just quietly ask yourself how you're feeling. It's so simple, but sometimes those simple things become the hardest because we're not used to doing that. We're used to dealing with things the hard way, right? So I'm challenging you to catch yourself in the act, right before you're going to eat, or even mid-binge, maybe in the middle of stuffing your face. There will be a moment where you have that choice to stop and make a better choice for yourself, because you have the power. It's that or carry on abusing yourself with food. And we don't want to do that. That's not our goal. I know that's not our goal. So, needed that reminder last night. Yes, a lot of us do. And I'm sorry if you can hear that noise. My husband, I feel like he's drowning me out right now. But yeah, a lot of us, nighttime is a struggle for many, many people. And it's just important to just really stop and ask yourself, okay, what's going on? How am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? What is this true feeling? Is it hunger? If you are truly hungry, then by all means eat. Good morning, Angela. How are you? But if you feel like, no, I'm just feeling a little lonely right now, or I'm just feeling a little frustrated about something, okay, then the food is not going to help that feeling feel better, right? And a lot of times, in the end, it makes us feel worse, because then we feel guilty for actually eating it and trying to make that food be the solution when it's not the solution. Okay, so sometimes we just need to sit quietly with ourselves and with our feelings. We don't have quite, what's the word I'm looking for? Quite the great relationship with ourselves as we do sometimes with others. We should have a really awesome relationship with our own self first, right? If you were going to give a friend advice, think about that. That's how you should talk to yourself. If you were going to give a friend some advice about maybe this, think about the situation you're in, and if they were in that situation, what would you tell them? How would you talk to them? You wouldn't be mean to them, right? You wouldn't talk negatively to them. You would talk nicely and kindly and compassionately, right? And that's what we need to show ourselves as well. It's so important that we create that relationship with ourselves, so that when we are what am I feeling right now? Am I really even hungry? What do I need? What do I really need? Okay, that's the big question here. It's the question of the day. What do I need? Maybe you need to blow off some steam. Food's not going to do that for you. All right? It might in that moment, but eventually, when you're done eating, that emotion's still there, right? It's like a Band-Aid, or just a numbing mechanism. And that doesn't help in the long run. So we want to just create a new habit. Maybe you need to just go for a walk. Maybe you need to write something down. Maybe you need to go draw a picture, do a painting. Any other outlet you can come up with that you know is going to help you release. Even if you need to have a good cry, let it out. Let those emotions out. A lot of times we've grown up, being told not to feel our emotions, it's not okay. But it is okay. It's absolutely okay. And we need to let those emotions and feelings out first to be able to heal everything else and to be able to move on and be successful in other areas of our life. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you can hear me over this drilling downstairs. I couldn't get away from it today. I tried to get like the room furthest away, and it's impossible. We're in the same house together. So anyway, I hope this is really helpful for you. So I want you to have the power to be able to stop yourself. Stop yourself from a binge. Because just being able to stop yourself from a binge is life-changing all in itself. So here's an example for you of how a conversation could go with yourself. There goes my dog. Wow, the noise this morning in my house. I have an example conversation for you. Okay, just one thing. How am I feeling? That's number one, okay? Okay, you're feeling overwhelmed and stressed. Is the food the answer to overwhelm and stress? What do you think? Good morning, Angela. How are you? And, we both know. We just said, no, food is not that answer. But I would be eating the food with all the wrong intentions if I chose to eat the food. All that wrong energy would be surrounding that process. And I'd be eating it in a stressed out state, which means I'd probably inhale the whole darn thing anyway. And that is not helpful for us in any way, okay? So some activities that can actually help calm you when you're in that overwhelmed state are all self-care activities. Do some nice yoga, some meditating, some nice deep breathing, brings you to a nice calm, safe space. Just going out for a walk, turning your phone off even so you don't have any distractions, getting away from social media, even sitting with a good book or doing some writing, some journaling. All really simple things, really nice self-care activities that you can do. And then ask yourself, okay, how am I feeling? Exhausted. Is the food the answer to exhaustion? No, sleep is. So go take a power nap if you can, or crash early tonight, all right? Food won't make you any less exhausted. Sleep is the answer here, not carbs. And I know, easier said than done, but it's all about practice. This is the principle and a tool that you can use and you can practice every single day. And my dog is dying to go out, but she's gonna have to wait. And you can practice this every day, every single day. And the more you practice it, when you do practice it every day, all of a sudden it becomes this new, just like what you're doing, because you're getting so used to, you're gonna have to wait a minute. Used to just what you're doing every day. She's gonna start talking to us. But being really mindful and just observing yourself and getting curious about your feelings and truly connecting and listening to your body. And listen to the messages that your body's sending to you, okay? Your body's there. It's ready. It's ready to listen. It's ready to cooperate with you. And instead of using food to actually mask or numb those feelings, all right? Because that message to yourself can go a really long way, all right? So be kind to yourself today. Be compassionate. Say some good things to yourself. And if you have any questions at all, pop it in the comments for me. But I'm going to go let my dog out now because she is ready. All right, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope you have a really good day. I'll talk to you later.